What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Brown. Yes, host of the Ash Said It Show. I appreciate all of you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,800 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this is possible without you guys, so I thank you so very, very much. Today, I have the award-winning authoress herself, Jeanne Bender. Hey, Jeanne.
Hey, this is Jeannie. Nice to meet you.
Jeannie. I don't know why I gave you an extra N. I don't know why. I don't know. For whatever reason, I wanted to rename you Jeannie. I'm so sorry. Jeanne Bender.
Oh, I've been called many things. Jeannie, John, Janine.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it's an interesting spelling.
Award-winning author, we are loving what we're hearing about this book series, the Lindie Lou book series. So let's talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this book series.
Oh, my goodness. Many, many years ago, I decided I was going to adopt a puppy. And I went on the website and I found this adorable little chocolate cocker spaniel, and her name was Lindie Lou. She came to my house on an airplane. We met, fell in love, and for 12 fabulous years we traveled the globe together. And Lindie Lou became the inspiration of the Lindie Lou Adventure Series books.
Take us back to maybe one of those first adventures. Where was one of the first places that you took her?
Yeah, so our first book in the Lindie Lou Adventure Series is actually called Flying High, Flying on an Airplane for the very first time. And it's the real-life story of Lindie Lou, who was born in Missouri. So the book takes place in St. Louis, Missouri, one of my favorite towns. Lindie Lou grows up with two brothers and two sisters in a puppy playground. And in the end of the book, they're each adopted into different families. And Lindie Lou finds herself flying high on an airplane from her city of St. Louis to her adopted family's home in the Emerald City. And so the character named Kate meets her at the airport in the Emerald City, which is Seattle, Washington. And there, Lindie Lou meets Kate for the very first time. So the first adventure is actually Lindie Lou being born in August. The first book takes place in the month of August. Each book of the 12 will be different months of the year. And Lindie Lou starts her journey right from when she is born, with her brothers and sisters meeting her along the way throughout the books.
I love that. That is so cute. Where did the idea come from for you to make it this series? Because, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, it could have been one book or two books, but I think it's very creative and definitely expansive for you to span it across 12 different books.
Yes, it's very ambitious. I'm not sure if I knew about this in the beginning, it would have happened, because the books are large font color illustration, around 200-page chapter books.
Oh, wow.
But they're written for second and third grade, so they're easy to read, page turners with the large fonts. And it was originally going to be called Lindie Lou Goes To, and they were going to be small, little 40-page books about where Lindie Lou goes in the world. But I have educators in the elementary school system in my family, and one of the educators said, we need some chapter books to bridge children from picture books into their first chapter book. So if you put in colored pictures and large fonts and make interesting book stories, then maybe less is more. So write less books with more content about the things that children study in second and third grade, like geography, relationships, social, emotional life lessons, which are printed and read in the books. And I had the educators guide me into this 12-book series.
That is really smart. Because educators, of course, it's just been a challenge the last 2 years with everything that's been going on and dealing with stuff and keeping kids on track and helping them to transition. I like that. What was the most difficult part of creating this series?
Oh, that's a good question. The most difficult part is coming up with the theme of Lindie Lou, her character, and how I was going to portray her to people. And the characters, the main characters being the puppies, when we got it, it was really exciting because Lindie Lou is adventurous and loves to travel, learning life lessons along the way. We made Topaz very much a troublemaker. Jasper is playful, so he plays games throughout the books. Then we have cute little Diamond, who is shy. And we have the runt of the litter. Her name is Ruby, and she's very curious and not really afraid of much. And so these characters all have complete different personalities, which brings a lot of excitement to the books. So it took about almost 2 years to write the first book because we had to get the series characters down in a way that they would carry through the books. So that's probably the hardest part.
Gotcha. What was your moment of confirmation? Just that moment that you felt that this series actually is going to reach kids and help them on their journey.
We had the Appleton, Wisconsin school system invite me to introduce my first Lindie Lou Adventure Series book through their school system in a reading weekly conference. I presented the book to children of kindergarten through 4th and 5th grade for the struggling readers.
Right.
And we presented the book series with slide programs, how to write books about the characters, and handed them little order forms to take home. And the 3rd or 4th day of the event, I was kind of not too wondering where the orders were. And little did I know that the teachers were holding them back, and they ran into the library one day after the presentations for the day, and they handed me over 200 orders.
Wow.
And I started crying, and the school system came, and all the school libraries came into a meeting and bought several of the books for each one of the libraries, and I started crying again. And ever since then, knock on wood, we've been getting mostly 5-star reviews, and that's my validation. It's very exciting.
I love that. That right there speaks on its own. Congratulations to you and your team and everyone that's helping to bring this story to life and bring it to more and more audiences. Last but certainly not least, what advice would you offer to the next aspiring children's book author?
Oh my. You know, one of the things that's the most important thing, and I'm told often that I have and I use, is a wild imagination for colorful characters. And this, I think, is really, really the step to being a good author and writing a good book, is get your outline together, get your chapters down. But the key is to make these characters so colorful and so interesting that everyone wants to read more about them. And that is my advice, because if your characters are colorful and your story is exciting, you can't wait to write the next chapter and the next chapter, and it just flows.
Jeanne Bender, thank you so much for coming through today. I certainly appreciate you.
Thank you, Ash Brown. I am so glad to meet you and be a part of your wonderful journey as well. You're doing great things for many people, and I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much. And let everyone know where they can get their Lindie Lou.
Oh, okay. So the Lindie Lou books are paperback, hardcover. They are ebooks, and we're soon working on the audiobooks. They are available wherever books are sold. The secret is to spell Lindie Lou correctly, because it's a little different, and it might be hard to find if you don't spell it correctly. It's spelled Lindie Lou, and I actually wrote a little Lindie Lou song. And if it's okay, Ash, can I sing the first verse that spells the name?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Lindie Lou spells Lindie Lou. La 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 la. So if you go to lindielou.com, you can find the song. You can find coloring book pages, educational materials for the teachers. And if you spell LINDIELOU.com, you can find a everywhere books are sold.
Much more success to you and your whole team and everyone that's back in the movement. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all the downloads, the love, the shares, the cares. It makes a huge difference. And keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.